Why is it that every time we bring up a great innovator, they're 100 billion years old? Henry Ford, Nikola Tesla, the individuals who wrote Basic Die Making, Advanced Die Making. There's a mural on the wall of Carl Herring. These guys are all would be over 100 years old now. And they just sat down and just learned and learned and learned and learned and built and built and built and built until they made something great. Every single one of them. I'm trying myself, but I don't see it anywhere else. And I don't think that I'm even special like those individuals were, because clearly they had something going on that just, it's unmeasurable. But when I started in the trade, it was like, whoa, you can't enter a room anymore without feeling a presence of like, this is so much craftsmanship goes into everything you touch and feel throughout your life. It's very awe-inspiring with how many things and how many hands have to go between the shop floor, engineering, quality, sales, marketing, fulfillment, logistics, material handling, just the amount of people that all of this stuff has to exchange hands through just to get a video camera or a light or a cell phone, all of it. Try everything. So I mean, because I just didn't. And I kick myself every day because I could be way further ahead intellectually if I just paid attention more in math, paid attention, I mean, it's all, if you pay attention in English class, you're going to be an effective communicator. If you pay attention in math, everything will be easier. If you start reading and exposing yourself to things you're not familiar with, you're going to get a better palette for what works for you. The building of my palette was very trial by fire. I was like, oh, what's tool and die? And then all of a sudden I was in it and I was learning everything I could about it, but I should have been far better. I could, if I just, in junior high, if I was just, and you don't have to be the best, strive to be the best because that's fun and, it gets competitive and you can, but just be realistic, understand how you measure yourself as a young individual, because 99.9% of the decisions you're going to make aren't going to work out for you. I didn't start till senior year. We had an advanced manufacturing course at Hampshire High School, where I went to high school. I took Michael Jakubowski's class for one semester there. And it piqued my interest because at the time I had been working somewhere else, and someone there worked at a machine shop. And he said, you should work in a machine shop, it's pretty cool. So that was in Bensonville. And I said, yeah, I'd be interested in doing it this summer. So before that, as a prerequisite, I just took the course, and I found it relatively interesting. I was mostly just pushing a broom, nothing super exciting, but I got exposed to hand tools and measurements and understanding some of the manufacturing process that went along with it was a prototype shop too, so we did a lot of cool CNC stuff. I then worked at that shop right before I graduated, and then just about the week of my graduation, I was signed up to do the computer integrated manufacturing coursework at Elgin Community College. And then a week after that, auto engineering approached me for a position in their apprenticeship program. So yeah, that place was really good to me. I really enjoyed my apprenticeship at auto engineering. I worked under some exceptional journeymen, and we were packed with a lot of kids, so there was a lot of peers to grow with. And I was right in the middle of them too, because there was 2 behind me and then like 5 ahead of me. There was like a buffer where they couldn't find somebody, or they didn't hire somebody for a little bit, so I had to actually I was kind of on my own little island in terms of where I was in the apprenticeship, but I had a lot of people in front of me and then a lot of people behind me. I'm enrolled in Elgin Community College. Yeah, I go to manufacturing coursework there, business-related coursework, and then some odds and ends too, because I want to get an associate's degree. One of my closest friends to this day, I met through my apprenticeship. Him and I work together now, not at auto, we moved on to another shop, but him and I have been 2 peas in a pod auto. So he's a designer now, and I'm the tool maker. So we did a progressive die at auto engineering. It was a very simple flat blank part, just some geometry with 2 holes in it. We actually had reused an old die set, and then we had leftover material around from other jobs, because you order 12 inches when you need 10, so you have little bits of material here and there. So we were able to scrape together all of the plates and components for this tool. We didn't have to order very much, and we banged it out in like 3 weeks. So that's pretty good for a die build. I mean, it was pretty simple and nothing crazy, but that was a pretty cool experience. There is a big generational gap. I don't understand why this is, but the age difference between my peers and my journeymen, The journeymen were 60 and I was 20. Like that is, and I'm 21 now, so that's the difference. There were two tool makers who were between us in their 30s and 40s, so there weren't very many. And something that is universal is that the generation who were the journeymen, you grew up fixing mom and dad's fridge or your bicycle because that's just what you did. That was just a part of growing up. So there was this prerequisite of workmanship and care and just general mechanical knowledge about things that just does not exist with my peer group. And it didn't exist for me. I had never done very much like tradey type work. I had tinkered with my car before when I bought one, but other than that, I knew nothing. I was completely green when I went into tool and die. I went to auto because I thought I was going to be a CNC machinist. Then I spoke with the journeyman, and he exposed me to all of his handcrafted tooling, which at the time I didn't even understand. One, it was just stuff that he built and assembled, so that's cool, you know. It's like building Legos. It's cool to see stuff come together. Then you start to understand the precision. There's an old saying. It's in the Die Maker Handbook. It says precision begets precision, which is just the man who does it. Whatever quality comes out of it, that is a measure of who he is, or how he is, man or woman, and person. And I think that was totally cool. And then what sparked my interest after that was at every step of the way, the highs and lows were just way up and down. I have only met a few people, and I don't think this is exclusive to Tool and Die, but I have met a few people in their college experience and their work experience and their college experience and their work experience where they were experiencing a similar kind of emotional maturity that I was, where like, one, I was in a tool room environment, which is a community. So I was constantly being supervised by people who thought I was a complete bonehead. So there was always reassurance that I am nothing special and I don't know what I'm doing. So that goal of knowing what I'm doing and not being a bonehead was always present. And then you start to understand that you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself, because it's immediately key turn, where as soon as you get to a point where a journeyman just throws you into a problem and he knows that you're going to ask questions and he'll just refuse to answer them because he knows you'll figure it out, that's a great experience.
Yes.
I was taught right away by very old grumpy men how to treat people. And that meant a lot to me because now I can do things I like tool making, so everything else needed to become easy. So shaking hands, being polite, doing what's right, doing what you're supposed to, showing up on time, all that stuff I can do, just do it. It's automatic, and now I can focus on the trade, the thing that I like. I would like to make a team of people who can do great stuff. I would like to be instrumental in that, whether I'm the top dog or I'm somebody in the middle or I'm the very bottom. I want to be in that team, a part of that team, or create that team. I very much want to go to work with people I love to work with. Do I know what I want to make? No, but when it comes to me, I don't want to not be able to make it. It's got to be, we all have to be on the same page. It's got to be fun. It has to be easy. It has to be challenging. Make what you will of that statement. So that's how I feel. My dad comes from the manufacturing world. He's a salesman. He sells slit material. In fact, funny enough, when I told him that I was going to work at auto to be a tool and die maker, him and I never talked about it. I made the decision not to go to college like hours after, like it was all like boom, boom, boom. So I didn't really consult my parents, and I went to my dad. I was like, hey, do you know what a tool and die maker? And he nearly hit me upside the head because he's like, I've been working with tool makers for 30 years. So yeah, it's a small world. I knew he had he sells stuff that makes stuff, but the whole world of making stuff was just totally took it for granted, had no idea what was going on. So the college decision for me was I want to be in a position where if that puts me on a pedestal where they're allowed to pay me a certain amount because I have that, that's fine. But in my life, my associate's degree is always going to go below my journeyman's license on my wall. It's just going to be how it is because I know which one I mean this wholeheartedly, blood, sweat, and tears went into my journeyman's license.
What kind of tears did you shed?
Oh, well, tool and die's hard. It's there is great emotion when you feel like a great sense of imposter syndrome. Like I need to be the best. I should be doing this already. Like he is here and she is there. But going back a little bit, what I said is as soon as you understand that failure is part of the process and all you have to do is just stop talking and listen and just work your way through it. No, some jobs are easy, low hanging fruit. Some of them suck. The end result always makes you feel the same way. So yeah, when I was a more immature toolmaker, I definitely got pretty emotional over a few things. Absolutely.